All right, guys, welcome to another video. My name's Justin. Today we're talking about my top 10 camping items and why I use them. Let me preface with this. These are not expensive items. These are just items that I've used and items that I know work. My cat is eating his food, so if you hear any kind of noises, that's what that is. You can get most, if not all, this stuff at Walmart. Just wanted to preface with that. Don't expect this stuff to be expensive, okay? This is not that channel. This is a real channel where we do real things and we make mistakes and we learn and we use equipment that you can buy at Walmart that's cheap, because let's face it, I can't afford to be buying like crazy expensive gear, and a lot of people can't. So without further ado, let's get into it. A tent. Let's face it, if you get out there in the woods and you don't have a shelter, well, yeah, here's what I will say. I've camped under the stars and it actually is nice. But I also, when I did that, woke up and I think I had been bit by a mosquito on the bottom of my foot, and it hurt real bad. I got stung by something and it was not fun. If you're gonna camp without a shelter, wear shoes. That being said, elements to camping that are important, this is one of them. Again, a Coleman tent. It's a freaking two-person tent. It's just, it gets the job done. The point is, you gotta have shelter. Makes you feel safe, makes you feel like first of all, if it rains or if it's freezing outside, it helps to have some kind of a barrier between you and the elements, so it works. That being said, in tandem with that, so we'll call this first item like two items, a hammock. I've used this hammock many times. It's made by Honest Outfitters. If people sitting it sideways, you can put two people in this hammock and just use it as a chair, but I've used it for both. I like it. I don't have a rain fly, but it is the sort of hammock where you can, the sides flip over. Here's what I will say about hammocks. They're comfortable when you first fall asleep. You wake up about 3 a.m. covered in dew and wet and cold. Be warned, hammocks have a cool factor to them. They're really low profile. They don't weigh a ton. They weigh a little bit, but not that bad. And this is just parachute material. You will wake up wet if you don't have the proper rain fly over it. Item number 2, a sleeping bag. This one is rated for like maybe 40 degrees. But it's really thin and small, and it's compactable, which is why I like it. I've had this for years. Literally is like the same size as the hammock. I'll usually probably pair this with like a blanket. I have like a wool type gray blanket that I'll use. You kind of combine those things together. It's not bad. Yeah, World Famous Sports. That's the name of this. So a sleeping bag. Gotta stay warm. You got the shelter, but the shelter's not really gonna keep you warm. You gotta stay warm. Otherwise, you're gonna be really uncomfortable and it's not gonna be any fun. So warmth brings me to my next thing that to me is really important, fire. With that, include all these as one, okay? So have options. You can have matches. Matches are gonna be the easiest thing. Literally, this is just a container that used to hold like hurricane matches, but wooden matches. I say options because there's not that many in here. I've got 5 matches in here. The reason why you want to have options is because if it's a windy day, you'll go through every one of these gosh darn matches and you won't be having a fire. The hurricane matches are good for the hurricane proof matches because they burn, but even those you can have issues with. So on top of matches, use something like, I have this fire starter. Super gross because I've used it a ton, but you know, they call them flint and steels. It's a ferro rod is what it's actually, I believe, called. But you have a sharp end of this and you have a blunt end, but you take the sharp end and you press it against this, and what you end up with is sparks. So maybe not set the house on fire, but it's attached to a compass that's on it. Depending on where you're at, you may want a compass. It's really cool because it's a container as well, so you can put stuff in there. It's really light. You can literally hang it from your neck if you wanted to. So that's that. And then the last thing is just some fire starters. All this is just little pieces of fire starter. You can put one of these at the bottom of your pile if you're having trouble getting your fire going, and that helps a lot. Move that over there. That was 3. Item number 4, lights. I have this headlamp that I like to use. I don't even know how much this was. It was maybe, I have no idea. It was really cheap. Wow, look at that. Super stylish. You can go up and down with it. I think it takes like AAA batteries, I believe. The other thing is these little dome lights. So I'll put them around the campsite. One of them will usually go in the tent. It has a warm and a cool light. I'll put it in the warm light because I like that one better. I'll just hang it in the tent. Sometimes I'll hang one over on like a tree branch, and it just kind of illuminates the area. You can see what you're doing. You know where everything is, because it gets dark outside if you didn't know that. When the sun goes away, you can't see. Item number 5, this bad boy. I've used these for years, not just for camping, but for hunting, probably more for hunting than for camping. South Georgia, it does not matter if it's November or everywhere else, the mosquitoes are dead. They are not in South Georgia. They're just gearing up. The butane goes in the bottom here. These little packs, they just slide in there like that. They're blue, they last a couple hours. Just like not being warm when you're camping is not fun. Well, not getting bit by mosquitoes is great. So bear that in mind. I believe that's item number 5. Comfort. Everybody wants to be comfortable when they're camping. Cookware. I love eating food. It's probably one of my favorite parts about camping, but you can't eat food. Well, you can eat food, you can, without cookware, but it's easier if you have some cookware. This is really cheap stuff. It's just a little pot. You can put freaking beans or soup or whatever. You can boil some water, and this, I believe, just like a plate. There's a couple more items that come with this, but like there's a little blue cup. Again, this is just something you can pick up at your local store. Just depends on what you're trying to make at the campsite. You may want some cookware. So that is item number 6. I used to have a metal cup that went with this, and that's what I'd put my coffee in, and it had like this beautiful patina of like smoke and stuff on the bottom of it. It's great. But when we moved, it got smashed in the back of my car. Item number 6, cookware. Number 7, a hatchet. It's got some gunk on it from the last time I used it, but just a basic hatchet. This one's not all that sharp, but it helps if you can chop some wood so that you can burn the wood in the fire that you made. Don't underestimate having a hatchet. Again, very cheap hatchet, not anything special about this. It works. So a hatchet, gotta have one. Moving right along to item number 8. This goes right along with item number 7 in that it is a sharp object. This is a Gerber Strong Arm. I've had this for many years. Just a serrated edge knife, fixed blade, full tang. It feels amazing in the hand. It's got a good grip to it, and it just helps to have a knife if you want to whittle while you're sitting at the campfire, if you want to feel like you have a little bit of extra protection. I'll also bring my gun, and that didn't make it in the video, but I have a Glock 43 that I carry, so that will come with me, and that's kind of just to make me feel safe in case there are wild dogs or what have you that want to come sniffing around. So a good knife is good to have. Item number 9, camp soap. You can't even see that. Camp soap, good to have, good to wash your dishes with, good to wash your hands with if you need to go poop in the woods. It's lasted a long time because you really don't need that much of it. It's pretty concentrated. I will also say this, when you're out in the woods, you gotta wash your dishes and you don't have a sponge, I mean, you use your hands, right? But sometimes that stuff gets caked on those pans because they ain't non-stick. If you can find like a pine cone or something like that, had the bristles on it, everything, it's really good for kind of creating some friction and getting stuff off. So you don't have access to other items like sponges and things like that. So nature's scour pads. But I actually have 2 items left. So I guess maybe 11, but a bag. Gotta have a bag. This is not a big bag, pretty small, but it holds all the small things. Just enough space to put like the hammock and stuff like that. The other thing I want to talk about is a good pair of gloves. Keeps your hands warm. It also is good when you're cooking around the fire. That helps you just not burn the hair off of your hands because that fire gets real hot. So good to have a nice little pair of leather gloves. That is it for today. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, comment, let me know what camping gear you use, what you consider is important. Let me know what I missed. Like, Justin, what about water? These are the items that I have on hand, the items that I know are most likely coming with me whenever I'm camping. Yeah, if you like this video, let me know about it. Subscribe to the channel, help support me so I can make future content, and stay tuned because there'll be a lot more to come.